Hey there! Have you ever dreamed about escaping those freezing winter months and soaking up the sun in Florida instead? Well, if that's something you've thought about but never really looked into it, today's the perfect day to start. Imagine this: swapping snow shovels for sandy beaches, icy roads for palm-lined streets, and bundling up in layers for endless sunshine. Stick around because we're about to dive into why Florida is the ultimate spot for snowbirds and how you can make that dream a reality in 2025. Hi everyone, Meral Ibrahim here, realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty in the beautiful Palm Beaches, Florida. Do you know that the idea of escaping to Florida for the winter has been around since the days of John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison? These brilliant minds were some of the first snowbirds, and the tradition has only grown since then. Thanks to easy travel, the internet, and plenty of affordable real estate, the dream of wintering in Florida is more attainable than ever. So if you've been thinking about it, now's the perfect time to plan for it and make it happen in 2025. Trust me, you're going to love it. So you may be asking, when is snowbird season here in Florida? Well, it usually kicks off at the beginning of October. Our seasonal residents start arriving then and keep coming in through the end of the holiday season. Most snowbirds stick around until April or May before heading back home for the summer. It really depends on where they're coming from, but that's the general timeline. It's a great time to enjoy the Florida sunshine without the intense summer heat. So, how many snowbirds come to Florida each year? It's not as straightforward as you might think. Roughly, we're looking at around 1 to 2 million snowbirds annually. But these numbers can vary month to month throughout the season. It's tricky to separate actual snowbirds from regular tourists, especially those taking winter school breaks. Still, Florida definitely sees a population bump during the snowbird-friendly winter months. You might be surprised to learn that a large portion of these snowbirds come from Canada. And really, who can blame them with our amazing weather? These temporary residents bring a lot of energy to places like Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and other popular spots. They're escaping the cold, but they sure heat things up here in Florida. So, how long can snowbirds stay in Florida? For American snowbirds, there's no limit. You can enjoy the sunshine as long as you like. But for our friends from other countries like Canada, it's a bit more complicated. Canadian snowbirds can stay for up to 6 months at a time on a B1, B2 visa. However, there's some good news. There's bipartisan support here in Florida to extend that limit to 8 months. So stay tuned for possible changes that might let you enjoy even more time in paradise. A common question we get from future Florida snowbirds is whether they need to update their state ID or driver's license. The answer depends on a few factors. First, you need to decide which state you'll claim as your primary residence. Most snowbirds prefer to keep their residency in their original state, so they maintain their IDs according to that state's laws. However, Florida has some great tax advantages which might make some snowbirds consider claiming Florida as their primary residence instead. There are legal considerations when it comes to claiming residency on your tax returns, so it's important to consult with your accountant. Once you know which state you'll call home for tax purposes, you can then make sure your ID matches that state's requirements. Another question we often get from soon-to-be snowbirds is about health care. How does it work when you're spending half the year in a different state? Well, the good news is most health care insurance plans are accepted nationwide, so they'll work just fine here in Florida. You might need to find new doctors near your winter home, but don't worry, there are plenty of great resources to help you do that. The main thing to watch out for are plans with very specific coverage areas. If your insurance is limited to a small network near your original home, you might run into issues here in Florida. Now, Canadians who spend winters in Florida have a bit more to consider. If you can't bring your coverage with you, it's a good idea to look into private insurance to make sure you're covered for any medical needs during your stay. So, while there are a few things to keep in mind, healthcare for snowbirds in Florida is usually pretty straightforward. So, where do you find the most snowbirds in Florida? Well, pretty much everywhere, but there are definitely some hot spots that stand out. One of the top picks is South Florida, including vibrant cities like Miami and Fort Lauderdale and the Palm Beaches. These are areas that offer a perfect blend of sunny beaches, cultural attractions, and a buzzing nightlife that snowbirds love. Another popular choice is closer to major airport cities like Tampa and Orlando. Not right in the city though. Why these spots? It's all about convenience and cost. These areas are just a short drive from major airports, making travel a breeze. Plus, they offer plenty of transportation options, tons of entertainment, and a range of housing options to suit every budget. So, whether you're craving the excitement of South Florida or the accessibility of Tampa and Orlando, there's a perfect snowbird destination waiting for you in the Sunshine State. When winter rolls around, you can bet that Florida economy gets a really nice boost. Like clockwork, the arrival of snowbirds brings a surge in business activity, and it's not just good news for those escaping the cold. Florida businesses are grinning ear to ear too. Get this, in 2019 alone, these winter guests pumped over $95 billion into the Florida economy. That's not pocket change, that's serious green. And it doesn't just sit there. It supports over 1.6 million jobs right here in Florida. But wait, there's more. Many snowbirds also own second homes in Florida that they rent out when they head back north. So even when they're not here, they're still keeping the economy bustling all year round. So next time you see a flock of snowbirds descending upon Florida, just know they're not just here for the sunshine, they're also keeping our economy thriving. It's not just the economy that feels the impact of snowbirds, it's the real estate market too. Let me tell you, Florida real estate is hot stuff. Snowbirds really shake things up in the housing market. You've got properties being offered up as short or long-term rentals left and right. And that's why you see a ton of condos popping up everywhere. They are low maintenance, perfect for housing lots of people in a smaller space, and ideal for seasonal visitors like snowbirds. But here's the kicker. Many snowbirds rent out their homes or condos during off-season. So not only do they drive up demand, they also create housing supply. Talk about making a splash in the market. So next time you're cruising through Florida and see all those condos lining the coast, just know they're not just homes, they're part of the snowbird phenomenon shaping Florida's real estate landscape. Renting a winter home in Florida is a great way to dip your toes into snowbird lifestyle. But let's be real, most snowbirds dream of having their own slice of paradise eventually. Once you've fallen head over heels for the snowbird life and found your dream location, owning a winter home in Florida comes with a ton of perks. and make it a sweet deal in the long run. But hey, let's not sugarcoat it. Owning a second home in another state comes with its fair share of challenges too. You know what's awesome about owning multiple homes nowadays? We've got technology that makes it a breeze, way easier than it used to be. Think about it. With services like Nest and Ring, you can keep tabs on all your homes no matter where you are. You can peek through live cameras set up around your properties, whether it's a simple one at the front door or a fancy setup with cameras in every room. These modern marvels let you check into your home sweet home from anywhere in the world. So whether you're sipping cocktails on a beach in the Bahamas or skiing down the slopes in Aspen, you can always keep an eye on things back home. You know what can be a real headache when you're living the Snowbird life? Managing all those subscription services, cable, newspapers, you name it. It's like juggling an act. But here's the good news. Most major subscription services make it super easy to handle. You can put your account on hold for up to 6 months or just change your primary location. Simple as that. Thanks to the magic of the internet and the rising popularity of the Florida Snowbird lifestyle, managing your subscriptions has never been easier. So go ahead, jet off to Florida without a worry in the world about your favorite shows or newspapers. You've got it all under control. You know, as amazing as technology is, nothing beats the peace of mind of having a real person check in on your home. And Snowbirds get that better than anyone. That's why there are plenty of companies out there happy to keep an eye on your place when you're not around. Just search for Snowbird Home Watch and you'll find reputable folks ready to lend a hand. But here's a little secret. Sometimes the best solution is right next door. Yep, good neighbors are worth their weight in gold. If you're lucky enough to have trustworthy neighbors in either location, you've hit the jackpot for home security. So, whether it's a professional service or a friendly neighbor, there are plenty of ways to make sure your home is in good hands while you're off enjoying the Snowbird life. Whether you're a newbie snowbird dipping your toes into the Florida sunshine for a month or a seasoned pro ready to make a long-term commitment to the Sunshine State, there's a path to happiness waiting for you here in Florida. The key to getting the most out of your Snowbird experience, well, it's simple. Define what you want your Snowbird lifestyle to be, and then make it happen. Whether it's lounging on the beach, exploring new cities, or simply enjoying the warm weather, Florida has something for every type of snowbird. So go ahead, write down your dreams, and then let Florida make them a reality. After all, happiness is just a flight away. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also, if you like, please leave a comment below, either about what you thought about this video or if you have a question. And do check out these videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day.